Hello guys, how are you?
Great,
Good, good.
great,
Yeah.
great, great.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been about like
So
2 weeks since last time we were recording. Yeah.
yeah,
Lots have happened since then.
yeah. mean, uh, I have been going into depth into one of the things that is agent creation. So I'm gonna hijack today to just discuss a bit about that. Then we will surely discuss more
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Okay, let's go
the
for it.
latest,
Let's dive in.
the latest and greatest. I know that you guys might be excited about, other things like Claude released its Claude Cowork thing. Did you guys know
Yeah,
that?
yeah. I tried it. We'll talk later about that.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So first things first. So have you guys seen the LangChain's Deep Agents framework?
LangChain's Deep Agent Framework.
Oh
No.
no, I've not seen it. No.
So let me actually share my screen.
Okay.
So what it is basically, you know how Claude Code works and how Manus AI works. The Manus acquisition by Meta
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
yeah.
$2 billion.
yeah.
That was like very, no one saw that coming. But see this. So LangChain created this harness, which is on top of the LangChain framework, which is an open source, which is basically just using LangChain as the base and using that to create projects like, to mimic or like, be as close as they can to Claude Code and Manus. So they have built which can give you like a planning to do task execution, computer access to do using file system, sub agent delegation out of box. You don't have to build any of this on your own at all.
Oh, you said computer use
Yes,
capability.
computer access.
So it can go to my local machine, do whatever, open browser, check
Yes,
things out, everything.
yes,
The one
yes,
that
and
people have been
access to
paying $200 a month for.
that I'm not like properly sure how much of that is possible, but at
Okay.
least a virtual file system I have myself tried. So like actually creating files, remembering things, all of those aspects is like very good. And the thing is, you don't have to build any of these tools yourself. Think about this. Deep Agent already has a file system tool, lets you create file, read file, and even basically execute CLI commands. If you see here, it can execute run shell commands in a sandbox environment.
Yep. It's a standard bash commands, right? Yeah.
Yes, all of those things.
But can't Claude Code already sort of do that, like out of the
Yeah,
box now?
yeah. But the thing is that no other like this gives you an open source toolbox to actually create systems that you can build, which are similar to Claude Code.
And Karthik, we are paying like what, $100 to $200 a month for Claude Code. Just don't forget that.
Yeah. And then would this be like added into Claude Code, or would it be like a whole separate
No.
thing other than
So
Claude Code?
this is useful for developers to who want to develop projects or products similar to Claude Code
Also do
because
their own CLI, their own sort
yeah
of.
yeah
Okay.
anything like if you want to create any AI agent and you want it to have the same look and feel of how a Claude Code operates because Claude Code has been such a powerful product where users have been very much in love with how it acts and behaves. uh, they actually went in depth how it acts, how it behaves, how it has the systems, how it has the tools, and that way they created all of these middlewares to give
I'm curious,
access.
how close does this get to actually like Claude Code?
So I won't. So the thing is, it's just a. In theory, you can create an AI system which has all the functionalities that Claude Code has. So let's say you want to create a research assistant. This is a repo which gives you a demo regarding how to create a research assistant, like using all the
Yeah, because
tools
I
that
was
Claude Code
curious.
has.
I was curious how Anthropic will reply to this because I don't know if you guys noticed. We'll talk about this a little bit later on, but Anthropic also limited their models to like, oh, you can't use it on like open code or these other CLIs. You have to
Yeah.
use it on Claude Code. You can't use it anywhere
Karthik,
else.
to answer that question, we all need to understand one thing. What is the market segment Anthropic is going after? What is it?
Enterprise, and mainly enterprise.
Enterprise. It doesn't matter. An enterprise is not going to take this open source and say we're going to do this stuff. Enterprises are going to
But
prefer
it does seem like they're more and more trying to limit it to like, oh, make sure to use our tools, our SE. Like, Anthropic seems to be having like primarily
Yeah.
wanting everyone to use their own tools and kind of forcing everyone. It doesn't matter if it's like an enterprise or a customer. That way, everything's on their platform. That's what they've been doing. So I'm
Yeah.
curious what their reply would
But
be to this.
yes, the thing is that I mean, Anthropic wants to make money, and they should, because they are, they are a company who's like who has so much investment in it. That's why I mean it makes sense for them. But still, like, what I can say is that this is not just to build a next Claude Code. This can be used to build any AI agent which you think will benefit from the theory that Claude Code gives. Because yeah,
And Lovely, I want to, based on what you said, right? There's one more thing coming in my head. See, you, me, Karthik, anybody, even a non-technical user potentially could use this for their own benefit in their own local machine, customize it to the way they want things to be done. Cloud Code is, you can build stuff, but you just can't do a whole lot to customize and fine tune to what you want to do, right?
yes. So this is basically how we can use LangChain to basically build AI agents. We can use this framework to build AI agents only. But with this, the AI agent will have the capability to do like all the good tool calls, have a file system that it can use, all of those things as well. So it's just a layer on top of that. So potentially anyone can try to create Claude Code or even Manus. Like I
Mm.
mean, how successful they are, it will depend on the effort you put in. But theoretically, it should be possible.
Use Cloud Code to create another Cloud Code using this,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Why not?
Why not, right? Claude is Claude models, but this one is open. You can connect to any LLM model, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
If you see here, this was a video that LangChain actually, pushed with Manus AI is one of the technical co-founders, I think, and they discussed some of the best approaches to actually build uh, how they use that, all the lessons they learned from Manus AI.
I see.
Yeah.
I guess since they are sold now, they can like all freely share everything.
Okay, if you see here, information loss versus compression is a problem. Favors offloading instead. So the things that they are actually talking about here is that in the context, what would you discourage and what would you encourage? To offload context to reduce how much retrieval is worth, how much isolation of context is worth. This is everything that every major lab has said about that, and how Manus AI has said that it discourage reduction in a context window. So what they are basically saying is, if this is a context window, if there is a very large tool call, it will consume a lot of tokens. So you can reduce that, which you can offload to a specific file that an AI can later go and read. So the content is never lost. It- yes, yes, yes. And context engineering, reduction, compaction versus summarization, isolation, sharing memory, offloading, hierarchical action space. Guys, I'm telling you, you have to go through this whole PDF. It gives a very, very next level information. Okay, so Yeah. And just some of the things that I want to highlight is context reduction. If you see here, it says that instead of like having a tool call in the context, save that tool call to a file. And in the context, just show that you can retrieve it from this file section. And because the AI agent will have a virtual file system, it doesn't need to like burden the context window, which is for the immediate use. And that can be some. And what context reduction is, you can create a summary. And Manus AI says that instead of creating summary, just create a file in a virtual file system where AI can actually refer to them. Yes. And guys, I don't think that I'm not sure if you guys know, but actually Cursor AI released some of these notes that where they suggested applying this same theory now to their product. What they are going to do is allow Cursor to actually create files where it can save all this analysis and all those things. So it doesn't need to summarize all these things because the retriever Cursor has is based on semantic search. It can actually go in the
I'm
files,
curious why
get the
they
latest.
sort of talked about this before they were acquired. And that's like after they're acquired, I guess it makes sense. It doesn't really matter that much, but I'm curious why they did it before. Well, building in public, yeah, that's a very common term, yeah. But usually what that tends to be is more or less not really talking about like the core workings of like what you're working on, but just like saying, "Oh, I'm working on this. You guys can give feedback," and like that's usually how usually building in public works. This is an
But
interesting way of doing it.
guys, this is gold. This is gold standard to learn how the best in the world are actually working on these problems, on these AI agents. And Manus has a I think very high number in revenue also. I think $100 million, more than that. And their product works. Yeah, it's like one of the fastest growing, and they have actually shared their learnings here. That's like, yeah, yeah. And I would highly encourage you guys to actually watch the whole talk because in the talk, how they are explaining everything and how LangChain shared this is like huge. And if you guys, I mean, I'm just glazing a bit, but if you see here, they are doing context isolation. They have even shared that by creating sub-agents, you can either give only instruction to a sub-agent or you can share the context between the sub-agents. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm curious to see if Claude Code will ever eventually use something like this, or if more. Well,
Yes.
it uses sub-agents, but the ideology of tool calling using like the file system, that sort of idea is what I was talking about.
No,
The
I think it does. If you guys if you guys see how Claude Code creates the plans, it doesn't store the plan in its memory. It tries to create a .md file of that plan,
we
and
plan dot
then
MD. I think that's yeah, that's what it
yeah.
does. Yeah.
So what happens is it can goes on and refer to that memory. So even when summarization happens, the context of that plan is never lost. So yep. Yes.
Yeah, but then the bash commands is what kind of saved them. Yeah, it was a little bit easier to get better results.
Yeah. I'll actually just like one more thing, guys, which I saw in this article only. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you guys from here. Let me actually share an Excalibur screen. Just a minute, okay? So one of the concept that I like learned from this, or what I understood, was of action spaces. Okay, so what an action space here means is that every AI agent, like, it has action to do, maybe, file interaction, right? So file interaction will be one action space, right? And if you go here, if you another action space would be to maybe, uh, internet browsing. Okay, so what they actually said, how you were saying that the tool bloating is something that is very apparent in all of these AI systems when they have so many tools. What they did at Manus AI, they actually created subsystems where you can actually just have uh, these two different folders. Moving this is- So what happens is when AI wants to actually go or use some specific tool, it does an overview search and tries to find, okay, I want to do file interaction. So all the other tools are never ever loaded in its memory at all. So
So only
all the
goes to
tools,
the tools that it actually needs to
yes,
use.
that's how they actually define using action spaces. So this is just an action space. Yep.
That way you can only have you only have to load the ones that you absolutely need, and everything else can just be kind of thrown away without being useful.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, well, that one more or less gives you more context on like one certain like library or one certain like framework or something like
Yes.
that. This one's a little bit more different in the way that it's just like giving you the certain tools that you need and kind of just leaving the rest of it out of. That one's more just
Yeah.
added
So
context.
that's the thing. If you guys see, all of these patterns emerge, like all of these best practices are there only. Just the thing is that different companies are applying them differently. If you guys see, I think we should, because that's like, I actually read this that how there is another thing where LangChain and other companies say that because if you go over 25 tools, they actually do another tool call to another AI model to actually see which tools to select and load only that, which is called tool selection. But in that approach, you will need another AI model to actually do this for you. But here, instead of like calling another model, what they did was just create one action space, because you need to take one action. You can go under this one, and based off of that, they then take those actions. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, you never give it, because it knows that the action it needs to take is related to files only. It doesn't even think that
Exactly.
it can access this, and it
Exactly.
doesn't like bloat the context
Load up the
at all.
everything. There's a smart way to identify what needs to be done, is what
Yeah.
this is. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. I like the way you said it, right? There are patterns emerging. Different companies are doing it in different areas. But it'll be nice to, maybe consolidate. Maybe there's a separate podcasting we need to do just to focus on
Yeah,
context engineering patterns. Maybe one day.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's just that it, like, some of the best things they said, more context is not equal to more intelligence. They said that they got better results with simplifying their tools and simplifying their tools more,
It's
because
interesting
models.
because yeah, Because before, I think Arun, like before I like me and him were working on like some project, and he said, "Oh, just give it all the context, all the instructions of like, oh, I want to build this is like how I'm gonna build it, and this is where I need to build it." And I told him that like, oh, maybe giving it that much context might not be the best, but it looks like now that might be true. Now more
Yeah,
intelligence does not equal more
and
context.
So you're telling
they
me, Karthik, I was wrong, which is totally okay.
Yeah, with more context does not
yeah
equal more
You are
intelligence.
right, I was wrong. That's cool. No problem. Hey, I like the last bullet point. Keep the boundary clear, get out of the model's way. Just let it
yeah
do it.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
I love it. Build less, understand more. Awesome, 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 actually. It's great.
Yeah.
yeah,
This was like, I think, one of the best learnings I have, seen in the industry, and how they actually gave everything to build better and more complex AI agents.
Correct. And I think this will benefit not only two technical people or whatever, everybody should understand how context engineering works. So when they use different tools, right, they can keep these, because these are fundamental, they can keep these
Yes.
things in mind to improve the efficiency of usage of AI tools. So it was certainly enlightening, Lavneet. That was awesome,
for
man.
sure. Yeah,
That was awesome. I really loved it. I'm sure Karthik loved it as well.
yeah,
Good.
The
yeah.
Hey, guys,
Another thing,
slightly,
yeah,
slightly on
another thing, yeah, another thing that happened. I think it was earlier this week slash like late last week. Everybody within the Chandler Unified School District got a little notice saying, "Oh, hey, we've unblocked Gemini and NotebookLM." And they just said, "Oh, we've seen like our peers have seen how prevalent AI is." That's how they verbed it. That our peers have seen how prevalent AI is and how useful it is. So we're unblocking this for you. But then when I looked deeper on like they even had us sign like an AI contract and everything, saying like, "Oh, we'll only use it for like these like couple use cases, and we won't use it for anything else other than outside of this." So let me share my screen to see what they are kind of showing there. So this is the website for CUSD for AI and CUSD. Um, so they've now unblocked Gemini and NotebookLM. So this is like their AI journey, they're calling it. So first, the AI wake up call was from 2022 to 2020 when ChatGPT first came out. We all first kind of heard of AI, sort of, and then sort of like concerned opportunities. Supposedly, this is when they thought about, oh wait, AI can be used for more than just like cheating. And then people learn a little bit more about AI, and then now potentially like building the plan is what they're calling right now. Um,
Hey, Karthik, I just want to make a point there on the timeline. See, it takes from 2022 to 2026 for a school district to change their mind and go like, yes, it's the right
Yeah,
thing
I
to
mean,
do.
we're already seeing them kind of changing their mind. This is probably a big step because like a lot of teachers itself didn't really like AI when it first came out. So this is probably a massive step. And then like actually teaching them what AI is and that it's not just cheating.
No, no, no. I see. I'm totally happy they made the transition and gave the tools to students, but the time frame it took for them from
Yeah,
2022 to
look
2026.
how like the time. I mean, I'm glad so it didn't take like 10 years for this even basic form of like integration happened. At least we got this basic form integration sort of there now. It looks like they've set the framework for it right now, but for true integration to happen, it'll still take like that another like, 4 or 5 years for the true integration for us to see more of that happening. And this is like the framework that
but
they
so have they given like the things they want to, like, what are the things that students can do now? Like, what's the
Yeah, I
difference?
think I don't know if they don't have the thing here, but they did give us an AI contract.
Actually, I can share that. I have it ready with me to answer your question. Right? Let me see if I can share my screen and show you guys.
Show you,
Uh,
I think Arun took a photo
what
of the
kind of?
AI
I
contract.
took a picture of that. Are you guys able to see my screen here? You
Yeah,
see here,
yeah.
this is the guideline
So
clearly given to the
yeah,
student.
so for explaining this, at least how they explain it to us, the top up there is no AI use at all. Like you do the entire assignment yourself. Pre-task AI is like you use it for a little bit of preparation before you start the assignment, but that's it. And then AI collaboration, that's when anything below that is kind of when you get into like the more core using AI for an assignment. And of course, they said right now we're still like the no AI part, like up there with like no or like minimal use of like AI. That, and then I think, or I don't know if you took a picture of like, the front of the page, but that's where they went over like the 4 or 5 things that we're allowed to use AI for now.
But guys, I'm still like a bit shocked that this is happening like this early because
Yeah,
in
even
my
even
time
like the
frame, I was thinking this will take at least 3 more years to actually even
Yeah, I
come
was
this
also
close.
not expecting this all of a sudden. Like that's why I shocked me when I saw that Student Square post, which was like, "Oh, we've unblocked Gemini and NotebookLM." There wasn't even any like official, and it was just like the general like post that everybody else would have ignored on the usual like basis. They just announced it there itself, which
But
was
the thing that I
interesting.
like though is now at least they have a definition of what to use
Yeah, I
for
like how
what.
they defined a framework now. That framework will definitely help with like because if they don't have any framework, that was never gonna happen. But yeah, so I think the things we're allowed to use it for is like for researching like articles, for understanding like large amounts of like data. If we wanted to like translate something from like one language to another, like let's say we're researching an article, but it's only in like Japanese or something like that, then we're allowed to translate it using AI. And then I think the other thing is like disability software. We're allowed to use AI and disability software for it. Like if somebody's not able to like if they're not able to hear the teacher, then like you can transcribe it into text. Those sort of, generic use cases that obviously would be helpful, given certain disabilities. So
This is a very good step. I mean, even acknowledging is
yeah.
good, guys. I
Even
mean,
acknowledging that AI isn't just for cheating and allowing us to
yeah,
use even like the
In
basic
yeah,
of
because
Gemini.
2023, I got to mention this. We got a letter from the school district saying AI is completely banned. It's academically not the right thing to do and all. I have the letter and I
Yeah.
took a picture of that too. Then right to now saying it is okay. Here
Yeah,
is the
like the
standard. Here is the
timeline is
framework.
really real
I mean,
because that was around this quote unquote AI wake up call. So that's like the starting when they realized, oh shoot, we
this,
have AI, we
you
gotta
know,
do something with it.
I'm guessing we are witnessing how calculator might be introduced, like when
Yeah,
calculator would have
how
been
way back then
introduced.
when the calculator was introduced and
Like,
how
yeah,
it would have
people
been
were
like
like,
a
But
AI
no,
wake up
I
call.
math.
mean, the only thing is things are still moving pretty fast, even in our own lifetime. Within
Hmm.
a certain range, we're able to see the whole thing happen, right? From
Yeah,
total,
yeah.
opposition to now adaptation with some responsible adaptation and a
Yeah,
framework.
and of course, I mean, here it says, I think a little bit later on also it says, like, of course, K through 8, it's still completely banned, no AI use allowed, nothing like completely zero, which makes sense. That's when you're learning the fundamentals, like, you're
Yeah.
not supposed to really use AI. You
I
don't use AI for like doing basic
Yes,
math, but like,
I might be a bit opposite on this take, but I still think that education and AI is like one of the most complicated topics ever because you want
I think it's
to
true, yeah.
learn things,
You
but
still want to learn it, but you also
how
want to be
you
able to
will
be
make
prepared
it,
for,
Okay, Lavnin,
yeah.
let's say, forget
Hmm.
about our generation, all these three generations we are talking about. Let's say your kids come up and AI is still on doing all of this stuff, right? Would you feel comfortable giving AI to your kids in first grade, second grade, third grade, fourth grade, the grades that have been banned here? You wouldn't be comfortable giving it to them. Why?
I think that you learn a lot by making mistakes a lot,
yeah, you also need to make the mistakes. Plus, also, I feel like if you
and
try it out, even you can try it out here, but if you depend on it here, it's not gonna help you a lot when you get to high school and you get to college and they're like, oh shoot, you have to actually do this stuff. Because up
because
until here, they don't really care. But if you notice, they even have a framework, K through 2, at home, discuss everyday AI examples, pose the question. Very basic examples they have is like what to do, and this is K through 2, so kindergarten
I
through
might
second
be
grade.
like very, very bad here, but I think even 10th or 12th might be a part where we should limit a bit of AI use in education.
Yeah, because
Just,
right,
just to like, the thing is that what I think is that to actually develop that, I mean, I'm no expert, guys. Okay,
I mean,
I'm no
so
expert.
right now they're not really. I mean, still, they all they've done right now is they've unblocked NotebookLM, which some people like they just gave it to us, not really explaining what it was. That people were kind of just supposed to
Oh,
go there and kind of figure out what
yeah,
NotebookLM was.
that
But then
is
they
good
also unblocked Gemini. But that's sort of like the two things that they did. And right now we're still technically not allowed to use it for assignments. It's mostly just
no.
like like generate questions, that
I
sort of
would
thing.
say that this is like something that students would need to take responsibility, that. how they use the tool, because I don't think anyone can control how you will use AI to either cheat or to just learn. That's like
Yeah,
something you have to do on your own. So that's like the biggest challenge.
Generally, the way human brain works, it'll try to find simplicity. If some things
Yeah,
are complex, we'll figure out what is the simplest way, easiest way for me to accomplish this goal, and that's where it's going
yeah,
to go.
yeah,
It
yeah. I
but I
think
think
that's
the yeah,
I think
yeah.
sorry, yeah, I think that's why difficult projects should be the way to go. Because then
I
you
think
will like
teachers will make more complex projects now that like require a little bit of use of even colleges. I think in ASU as well, they've added some courses where like or they've added some like projects where you need to use AI a little bit. They allow you to use it a little bit, but only for a
yeah.
small portion of the project. But still, it's like a step in the right direction.
I think that this will raise the baseline a lot, guys. Think about it. Any project or any assignment you would be able to do without AI, now you can use AI. So now it will be more difficult to do. I think that would be the best approach to go.
take it to the
Like,
next level. Take it to the
yeah,
next level,
yeah. I
right?
mean, that's how the human civilization would even learn more, right? That you make more difficult things to you learn
Yep.
more difficult things.
Expand and move on, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
agree with you. It's the same calculator analogy, right? Nobody says what is 13 times 565. Nobody knows. We have to use a calculator for that, obviously, right? But same concept here. So now we need to design
Yeah.
school systems in such a way that it expands your memory, challenges you more to grow. Cool. Okay. I think this
Yeah,
is
so
awesome.
I thought that was really interesting that they finally
yeah,
allowed us to be able to kind of use Gemini, even if it's like Gemini with like the gems and then NotebookLM, but still it's like somewhere. Obviously, I wasn't expecting them to unblock ChatGPT or something like that, and then just let us go like wild and be like, okay,
yeah.
you could use
There's
anything. But
one
it's
more topic. I know we're running short of time today, but just one more topic. I just want to bring it up before we conclude for today.
yeah,
Chat GPT and ads. Did you guys hear that?
no, but I did heard of like the
Yeah.
new health thing. Yeah,
Chat GPT is now going to give a free Chat GPT with ads.
so ad supported. So they finally
Yeah,
hopped on the train with Netflix, Spotify. They're hopping the
Oh
train
exactly.
with
dear.
all of them, and
And
yeah,
there is going to be $8 per month chat GPT in between. Free $8 per month chat GPT is what they tried in India, I believe. Similar thing, but with some ads, and a pro version which $20 a month where there's no ads. So it's going to
so
be
are
like
they wait? So are they getting rid of the $200 per month plan, or is that still
no, no,
going to
no,
be?
no, no,
Because
no,
if you're
no
calling
change.
this the Pro plan, then is that like the Pro Plus? Like what do they call like the most expensive plan?
Pro plus ultra.
That they are going after day-to-day people who want to use AI and any. It's like basically coming back to Google search kind of
So yeah,
concept,
so
right?
they're no, so
Yeah.
they're going to like Google what Spotify did with like free Spotify, but with a lot of ads, and what Netflix did with like that free plan, but with like a lot. I think they had a short time where there was like not free, but like $8 a month or something like that in Netflix as well. But you could get it with like a ton of
One
ads.
thing they have abundantly made it clear is the ad is not going to influence the response coming back from the LLM model.
I'll
I
never believe it.
explicitly stated that.
I will never believe it.
Why? They are stating it there right in
But
words. Like,
how can this happen, guys? Think about it. I mean, I'm sure they are
But
trying their
how does the
best.
ads work? Does that ads work like at the end of the response? It's like, oh, by the way, this is like
Yeah.
something similar
okay,
to what you wanted, so
I'm
just try
Hmm.
this
searching for
out.
a bicycle. I'm researching, guys. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, the response from LLM will come like what it normally does. Okay.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
they know I'm searching for a bicycle, so they might
Hmm.
give a bicycle ad
Yeah.
there, but the
So
ad is
wait,
not
does this
influencing the
only is
output.
this only working with like shopping,
Really?
like ChatGPT shop, or does it work with like you ask any question at all, and there will
I
always be
think
some sort of
any.
Always
ad
be ad.
related to
There
it?
will, in the free version, there will always be ad.
Okay,
In that
so
middle version though, that $8, is it going to be just
so
in shopping or?
so you're saying that what will happen is that chat is independent and the
Yes.
ad is another model or something.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
Hmm.
think of Google
You,
search, Lavneet. Like when Google ads was going on, the relevance was
But
based on
guys,
what you were
think
searching.
about how bad Google went after that. Because like now, whenever you search for something, like the first like 10 links that you get are all ads after ads after ads after ads. Then you scroll down past that and past like the AI overview, you have to go down all the way to, like the bottom of the page to get the first genuine like result that isn't just like an ad that's
Right.
paid
Okay,
to
yeah.
be up there.
GPUs are expensive. OpenAI needs to pay for it. They got to have ads. That's the end of the story.
Yeah,
I
that is
guess the
true.
difference is
That
like
is true.
how they add in those like advertisements is the question, and they have to put
Exactly.
it in a way where it won't be like way too annoying. Like how Spotify's whole like algorithm, the way they work is they annoy the most out of like the users in the free tier to force them to get the paid. Hopefully, ChatGPT doesn't go that way of like
But
like being so annoying with the
I'm
ads that you have
telling
to
you
upload.
guys, the only way this ends is they will blur that way out, and it will be one model that will give you ads and the answer. This is how it will go. Because the thing is, it might look very bad, how they used to say this. They will never put ads in, right?
Yeah,
But here we
there's a
are.
quote. There's like a audio clip of Sam Altman saying we'll never add
Yeah.
advertisements into
But if
ChatGPT.
it starts influencing the response, I would be concerned, man. If
Wait, but
it
then
But
starts,
we
they
could
will.
see, yeah, this could set precedent for the other models. Like Gemini could start doing the same thing. Claude, I
I
don't think will
mean,
start doing it because they're primarily after
yeah,
enterprise.
they don't give a
But
shit about.
Gemini could be a nice area like where like they probably would start doing that.
well, that's a new trend now. It's happening, and
Because I
that's
think
how things are
Gemini
moving.
gives a lot free. If, on the free tier for Gemini, you get way more than you do on the free tier for
I think
ChatGPT.
I'm loving Gemini now a lot,
Me
like a
too.
lot.
Me too. I'm a big fan of Pro Nano Banana, as you guys already know, and Notebook
Yeah.
LLM is internally using Gemini anyway, I believe. So awesome
But
tools.
so I'm not sure, but have you guys seen a new trend in development world where people are now actually we were just thinking that 2026 might be where it will change a lot. Have you heard about RALF plugin
Yes,
from
Ralph
I've
Claude Code?
Looper.
heard of, yeah,
Ralph
I've heard of
looping,
it. I
continuous
haven't
looping.
played around with it, but I think it's just forcing tools like Claude Code to think like over itself over and over and like be
Do
like,
you
oh,
know,
this is not
Karthik,
perfect, this is not perfect.
that Ralph is from Simpsons? Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen the Tom Dozen and it all refers to
That
that.
is the most absurd like thing I've ever
I
like
think it's just
seen
the
that now.
ideology, yeah, that you can just force it to rethink on itself over and over and
Yeah.
see what the
Yeah.
best result possible can be. Have you tried out the Ralph like that sort of idea of
I
using
mean,
something?
I would say, guys, we all have been doing just the Ralph thing for a while now
Like a human, right? Come on, let's try. I know. Now it's
with
just
the human.
in a loop to complete.
It's
Yeah, and a
just
loop would obviously be better because you're not gonna sit there for like 6,000 iterations being like, fix this. Like at least that'll force it to be like, oh, this isn't. Yeah, to keep on thinking, do it again.
the concepts of that. Like, I mean, Claude Code released its own plugin also,
Oh,
which
there
is
is a
like,
plugin now. Okay, yeah, because I
yeah,
was
you
first
don't
like,
need to
oh,
do
that's the
anything.
ideology, but like somebody has to implement that into a plugin or something.
Yeah, talking about plugin, I shared something with you guys about calling you back when you kick
Oh
off
yeah,
some new
the
pod. There is
LinkedIn
a
post.
phone plugin that
Yeah,
calls
the
you and
open
says,
source
"Hey,
project.
Lavneet,
Yeah.
I really need your input on this stuff. Do you want me to proceed?" Yeah, go ahead, and then it continues on.
That'll be a huge leap for a lot of non-technical people that still want to build something, but aren't incredibly technical, but they just want to like, oh, let's start this somewhere. Then I just want it to be done by the time like I'm home or something like that. You can just have it there and then call you.
I actually think that now we are at a point where being very, in-depth technical, a person who is like, very good and like maybe, produce good output in like very small time, that might be blurring a bit, guys, because of Claude Code. Because I actually tried to implement one functionality, which was about layering, how layering works in like Canvas and all those things, which I thought that Claude Code could never do because it will take a very long time, because you have to think about backend, how it will process and all those things,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So I just gave it one prompt. I mean, it was a big prompt, like for 4 or 5 lines only, not that big. It went on. It took a while, but within 15 minutes, I had the whole layering functionality done, end to end,
And
with the way I was fully satisfied.
not to
I
mention,
reviewed
like
the
now
code.
you have Claude Code built into Claude itself, like the Claude app. So even for less technical people, you can just go to the Claude app itself and then just start it from there. So we're kind of abstracting that layer of being like the core technical person that has to be there, understanding all the
Yeah.
code more and more to like still powerful enough to do that, but farther away from actually like coding it yourself.
Hey, Lovely, in your case, did you give detailed instructions on what you
Like
want?
Not
yeah,
that
how detailed
detailed.
is it?
Not that detailed, guys. That's the thing. if I had
Did
given
you
it
have that
proper
RALF plugin?
detailed.
Did you have that
No, no,
RALF
I
plugin?
didn't use RALF. That's the thing. Without RALF, it was able to build that.
Imagine
That
like
was
with
the
the
time.
RALF, how good it
Yeah,
would be.
I was thinking I can just like the feed. Let's say I want to build a credit system, like how these AI agents have credits, like number of credits. I think with Ralph plugin, where it might need to think a bit and like about the whole system. And what I've started doing is I've started running tests a lot. I tell it to run it in Docker, do live test. It maybe need to connect it to services and all. Do test. If it's not working, go ahead, fix that. I'm also using Cursor's debug mode, which I have seen is way better in that. What it does it generates hypotheses, like three or four things that think can be done. Create test, run it, verify which it think is the error, and then solve it.
So you will be switching between Claude Code, build the core product, and then switch to Cursor for these kind of things, multiple switch.
Yeah, it's like I think that when a long feature development, Claude Code. When I have to test, I have to move fast. I want the speed. I want to test things out. Cursor.
And the cursor model, the one that we were talking
Yep.
about.
Me up.
I see.
And
Great. Okay. All right. Good. I know.
Yeah.
Is a like these are a lot. There's a lot of good topics today, man. I'm so happy to have enlightened myself talking to you guys about it.
Yeah, yeah. So okay, yeah.
I think
So
we
yeah,
still didn't talk about Claude Code work, which is the latest
Oh,
thing.
man, yeah. We forgot about that.
yeah.
Uh, okay. Did you try? Let me ask you first.
I
First
saw
of all,
the
can you guys
video.
explain what it is first? I haven't heard of it this week.
Oh, okay. So let me tell you what. Think about that Claude Code, how it can do all the coding things. Now,
Yeah.
have you ever guys used Claude Code outside of coding?
No.
Not, I
Never?
mean, unless you count
Only
the
for
web
coding.
CI.
I mean,
If you
Claude.
count,
I use Claude for outside of Claude.
yeah,
When I say Claude
normal
Code, I
like
use Code.
Claude.ai, like the regular chat
So
interface.
what I've done is using Claude Code to do some like maybe get some files from my downloads folder, analyze some files, and even generate some metadata
Hmm.
without
Oh,
writing code at all.
Are you talking about Anthropic's like Cowork? Is that like that
No,
you're
no.
talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to talk about that. But let's
Oh,
start from how Claude Code itself can do all of these things that are not related directly to code, right? So what they have done now, they want to give that same functionality of Claude Code, but to everyone else. The people,
Non-technical users, like
yes.
people who can still
yeah. So
So
do
like
they
anything.
people who
created
aren't
an
very technical.
yeah, they created an app which basically runs Claude Code only. But
I think
now
everyone was trying that earlier. Yeah.
I
Claude
enabled
Code
it
has
in our Cloud Code account. Played a little bit with it, but have you dived into it, Lavneet? Have you seen how?
I have only like seen it. I haven't tried it myself that much, but I've like read about it, and what I've understood is that you can create tasks and give it task. And I mean, people have been in the industry have been exploring with this idea of creating Kanban boards with it, with Cloud Code, and
Correct.
assigning it tasks, and it tracks it, does it, everything. And so what Claude Code did, took that idea, created an application for everyone. Non-technical people can create documents, PPTs, explore their uh, whole computer and everything. What this application does, it tries to create a sandbox kind of thing. It installs some kind of Linux. I might not be 100% on paper correct on this, just on a theoretical basis. They try to sandbox it, and then it can access a computer, do everything Cloud Code can do.
Permission. If I say go here, it says, "Are you giving permission?" I say yes, then it has access to the folder.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
that's
and
what.
and I think it uses Kanban, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah,
internally it uses the
yeah,
Kanban concept where it
yeah.
moves from to do to in progress to completion and keeps moving things over.
And the industry reaction is this is one of the closest things they have seen to AGI. Because now let me let me see, because non-technical people might not have seen how Claude Code is good in actually doing tasks, right? But now they can see that it can create documents on the fly in their computer that they can use. It can take actions. I mean, it can even interact with apps, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you on all of that, but taking it and comparing it to AGI is a
Yeah, I
little too
mean,
much.
that is
It's a little
that
too
is a
much,
bit
right? Yeah, I
A
like,
mean,
little bit.
but like a system that can actually interact with a lot of systems
yeah,
is
I agree on that. I agree on
is
that.
like
I mean,
very,
a lot
very
of things that
close.
we all do on our desktops on a day-to-day basis can be automated. Can be just given to this guy.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't know if this is new, but I was just on Claude right now, and I saw that you can add Claude into Slack and then have the Claude Code agent into Slack. So directly from
Yep.
Slack, you can just add Claude. Can you finish this feature for me? Send it off, and then it will go and like do it through Claude Code.
Yep.
So I thought it was interesting.
Been there for a while. That one has been there for a while. The Slack
Have
integration
you
to.
guys tried the? I've also. I think when I was looking up what that was, it said there was Anthropic Cowork. Do you guys know anything about that?
That is the one
That
that he's
is what
talking
we are
about.
talking
So
about.
That's
that,
the one he's
so
talking
that
about.
is the name. So that not only
Yeah.
work, so co-work. Okay, so there's a different
Oh,
name.
wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool. All right. I think we covered all the topics that we promised that we would cover.
Yeah.
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 All right then.
All right.
So
So we'll see you guys next
we'll see you next
next
week.
week, and
Have fun.
be a lot more advancements probably. So all right.
I'm
Thanks.
sure it
Bye.
will.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.